In other news, Harvard University has been hit with a $2.2 billion federal funding freeze. That's after it rejected a list of sweeping demands made by the Trump administration. Less than 24 hours after the freeze, Harvard-affiliated researchers have begun receiving stop work orders on contracts worth tens of millions of dollars. The stop work orders will affect major contracts that support projects ranging from research on a deadly infection to the effects of space flight on the human body. University student newspaper The Harvard Crimson reported several such orders, including an immediate stop work order on a grant-related research on ALS or LOU disease. Washington Post reported about School of Public Health professor Sarah Fortune, who received a similar stop work order on a $60 million contract that supported an international group of researchers researching tuberculosis. More than $110 million in grants to Harvard-affiliated researchers have been cancelled since the end of February. Most of these featured themes of gender and sexual identity. Not just that, also COVID-19 and its vaccine or health disparities, topics which have been targeted by the new administration in the United States of America. On Monday, Harvard became the first university to openly defy the Trump administration as it demands sweeping changes to limit activism on campus. After that, the federal government said that it was freezing more than $2.2 billion in grants and $60 million in contracts. Trump and his White House team have justified their pressure campaign on universities as a reaction to what they say is uncontrolled anti-Semitism and support for the Palestinian militant group Hamas in America.
First, when it comes to Harvard, as I said, the president has been quite clear they must follow federal law. He also wants to see Harvard apologize, and Harvard should apologize for the egregious anti-Semitism that took place on their college campus against Jewish American students. There were professors who said that he had engaged in discriminatory behavior against Jewish students. Of course, you had the former president of the university saying bullying and harassment depends on the context. You also had an encampment on Harvard Yard that we all saw play out before the cameras. The university failed to impose formal discipline on any students for this anti-Semitic conduct violations, including the occupation of a campus building and the disruption of classes with bullhorns. The president believes Harvard should apologize to its Jewish American students for allowing such egregious behavior. As for the tax-exempt status, I would defer you to the IRS for any updates.
Trump has called for Harvard to lose its tax-exempt status and be taxed as a political entity. That's if the country's most famous educational establishment refuses to submit to wide-ranging government oversight. Federal funding is the largest source of support for research at Harvard, according to the university. In fiscal year 2024, federal funding of $686 million made up approximately 68% of total sponsored revenue at Harvard. Just last week, Harvard has borrowed $750 million from Wall Street to shore up its coffers through bonds.
Occupation no more. Say it loud, say it more. Not a conflict, not a war.
And take a look at our next explainer on how Harvard University has been hit with $2.2 billion federal funding freeze and the way forward for one of the most prestigious universities in the United States of America.
Harvard has become the first university to openly defy the Trump administration as it demands sweeping changes at colleges accused of tolerating campus anti-Semitism. In response, the federal government said it's freezing more than $2 billion in grants and contracts to the Ivy League school. It sets the stage for a battle that could test the government's power and test the independence that has made U.S. universities a destination for scholars around the world. The government hasn't said exactly which grants and contracts are being frozen, but is likely to target Harvard's massive research operation. Harvard says that's money that has supported groundbreaking innovations and helped find treatments for diseases ranging from Alzheimer's to diabetes. It's unclear how this will all play out, but it could end up in a legal battle if Harvard sues to protect its funding.